Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. But before we get into the subject of today's video, I'd like to talk to you about something very important. That thing being Quarter. Quarter is an open source alt-tech alternative to YouTube that I started in the late spring, early summer of last year. It is a full-fledged alternative to YouTube that has all the features and functionality you could ever want in a video sharing site, such as HD video uploads, including 4K capacity, live streaming, free restreaming, public playlists, an easy-to-use comment moderation system, a search engine that has a ton of filters that can filter things by view counts, by topics and categories and channel names, and even the file names of the videos that are uploaded to channels. It's pretty cool, actually. But Quarter also has features that YouTube does not have, such as Quarter Bucks, which is an in-site currency that you earn by getting views on your videos. And when you build up enough Quarter Bucks, you can use them to promote individual videos of yours or your entire channel on the main page of Quarter. Also on Quarter, you have video chat rooms, which are similar to the old Google Hangout rooms that YouTube used to have, but they are not actually Google Hangout. It's an open source alternative to it called Jitsi Meet. And in these chat rooms, you can do video calls with your friends, family, coworkers, etc. And you can even live stream to your channel from these rooms, just like you used to be able to do on YouTube with the Google Hangout rooms they allowed you to make. Another feature that is unique to Quarter is the ability to write articles. While YouTube has their community tab, which allows you to make social media posts where you can share videos and pictures and polls and whatnot, the articles on Quarter allow you to create much better posts than social media posts on the site. You can not only write whatever you want, you can also embed stuff not just from Quarter itself, but from other stuff as well, like other video sharing sites. You can embed pictures, you can embed just about anything that's done in code in articles on Quarter. And once you start writing articles on Quarter, there will be an articles tab on the home page of your channel, just like you have a community tab on your YouTube channels, and that's an easy way to access articles. So you can use articles to update your fans on when you upload a new video, or you can use it to communicate news to your audience, or any number of things. So if you're looking for a feature-rich alternative to YouTube in terms of functionality and features, Quarter is for you. But freedom of speech is Quarter's biggest draw. On YouTube, there are certain topics you're just not allowed to talk about because you'll get banned from the site or get your videos struck down if you do. No such thing on Quarter. On Quarter, you can talk about whatever you want and do whatever you want as long as it's protected by the First Amendment of the United States of America, which is the country that Quarter is being hosted in. If you're watching this, be sure to create an account on Quarter, especially if you're a content creator. If you're a content creator, not only should you create an account on Quarter, you should also start uploading your content to Quarter and start promoting your Quarter channel, because once you start doing that, what will happen is Quarter will go from being a teeny tiny site like it is now to being a robust, big site within the span of a few years. We've seen other alt-tech sites do this, and Quarter can follow that same path if you guys are willing to do the work. Now that you know all about Quarter, let's get into today's video. Recently, I did a brand new episode of the TTOR show called Laura Loomer Attacks Married Women, The Fall of BitChute and Gab. As you can see on screen, Brett Keane and Seeking the Truth were guests of mine on the show, and we talked about not only these topics, but many others as well. One of the topics we talked about was how the Biden administration in the United States of America was on board with blocking out the sun in the name of combating climate change. And just in case you think we were making that up, I have here on screen an InfoWars article titled Report: Biden Admin Supports Blocking Out the Sun to Stop Climate Change. The article says, According to a report in Politico, the Biden administration has offered measured support for the idea of studying how to block sunlight from hitting the Earth's surface as a way to limit global warming. Yes, really, they're down for blocking out the sun. The report notes that the White House released a report to Congress late on Friday that indicates that the Biden administration is open to studying the possibility that altering sunlight might quickly cool the planet. A program of research into the scientific and societal implications of solar radiation modification, SRM, would enable better informed decisions about the potential risks and benefits of SRM as a component of climate policy alongside the foundational elements of greenhouse gas emissions mitigation and adaptation, the White House report said, adding, SRM offers the possibility of cooling the planet significantly on a timescale of a few years. While conceding that there are no plans for a research program on the idea, the White House suggested the idea could be undertaken with appropriate international cooperation. The report also notes that the EU has signaled a willingness to discuss researching how to go about blocking out the sun. Guided by the precautionary principle, the EU will support international efforts to assess comprehensively the risks and uncertainties of climate interventions, including solar radiation modification, and promote discussions on a potential international framework for its governance, including research-related aspects, the European Parliament and European Council said in a joint communication Wednesday. As we have previously noted, this idea is fully supported by Dr. Strangelove alike, Klaus Schwab, and the World Economic Forum. It's also an idea loved and being pursued by Bill Gates. Will Gates still be flying around in his private jet when the source of all life on the planet is blocked out? Imagine the frothing hysteria if someone who wasn't a beloved globalist was seriously suggesting putting a massive shield in space to block out the sun. Let's fling this idea in the crazy pile on top of these other nutball suggestions. The good news is that the more they push this type of lunacy, the more people resist. So, as you can see, this is not a joke. The Biden administration really does support the idea of blocking out the sun in the name of stopping or combating climate change. The eerie part about this whole announcement is I've actually seen this idea before, long before these governments and countries thought of the idea. If any of you have ever watched the Matrix movies, you may remember this scene from the original Matrix.
We have only bits and pieces of information, but what we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we know that it was us that scorched the sky. At the time, they were dependent on solar power, and it was believed that they would be unable to survive without an energy source as abundant as the sun. Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony.
So as you guys saw from that clip, in The Matrix, it was explained to Neo by Morpheus that early on in the war between machines and humans, the sun was allowed to thrive and the machines were solar powered at the time. So the human coalition, the human resistance, thought it would be a good idea to block out the sun, because if we block out the sun, then the machines will all just run out of power and die because they're all solar powered. Of course, they decided to nuke the atmosphere and they blocked out the sun like they planned, but it did not end the war. As a matter of fact, the only thing it did was cause the machines to start using humans as their source of energy, as their batteries, essentially. It's kind of eerie to see how in the Matrix movie they blocked out the sun in the name of combating these evil AIs, the machines. And now here we are in real life in the year 2023, and we got multiple governments from around the world expressing interest in blocking out the sun, not to stop AI, not to stop some evil group of machines that are trying to subjugate the human race. No, 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 no. We need to block out the sun to stop climate change. And the funny part is that for years the globalists have been pushing us to use solar-powered technology, and now they're talking about blocking out the sun, which would render all that solar-powered technology quite useless. They say that the truth is stranger than fiction, but when you see real-life governments in the real world trying to do dystopian things that were done in sci-fi movies like The Matrix in the name of combating some enemy, well, it gets even stranger than that.